those lights are bright. Which one of you has a Pokemon that uses Sunny Day? Well, I'm seeing a lot of nice, cheerful faces in the crowd. So welcome, everyone, to the final panel of PAX Prime. Hopefully they saved the best for last, huh? Anyway, first of all, I love audience participation. So how many of you, by show of hands, know what Pokemon is? Everyone. That really makes this easier, I'll tell you that. If you have a favorite Pokemon, I want you to just shout it out right now, as loud as you can.
We're all great!
I heard a lot of awesome Pokemon there. Yes, they're all great, I agree. My favorite's Helioptile. So, let me introduce myself. My name is Jack Sauter, and I have a YouTube channel called Skullshirtigal TCG. You guys are not going to be able to remember that. So, after the panel, if you want to... It's in the guidebook, yeah. But if you don't have a guidebook for whatever reason, then just come up after the panel and I'll give you a little card with my name on it. If you're watching this live on Twitch, first of all, hello. Second of all, just go to YouTube, search Pokemon Skull with 1 L, and I'm the first result. I have almost 100,000 subscribers, and, well, I specialize in Pokemon. Specifically, what I do is the trading card game. I focus almost entirely on opening booster packs. I want you to think about this. I have 100,000 people who watch me do nothing more than point a camera at a wall and show off cardboard. There's 100,000 people in the world who watch this. On top of that, I also do competitive battle videos. For example, the Pokemon World Championships were just last week, and over 1,000 people from around the world participated in the trading card game category. I love making videos that focus on that. I also show off cards that I obtain through trades in the mail and showcase complete sets. I do other Pokemon things as well. I have a pretty successful series called 50 Amazing Pokemon Facts. And just for you guys, be on the lookout for 50 scary Pokemon facts coming out this Halloween. I also do everything wrong with the Pokemon movies in the same style of Cinema Sins, but Pokemon related. It's not because I hate Pokemon, it's because I love it. Just trust me on that. I also do competitive video gaming a little bit, working on it. I'm making it a more common theme on my channel. I also am trying to branch out into other Nintendo franchises. I have Super Smash Bros. 4 Funny Moments videos, and I'll be doing a Mario Maker series when that comes out in 2 weeks. So, how many of you like the Pokemon video games? How many of you like the anime? Yeah. Woo, anime, right? Okay, how many of you like the trading card game? That's pretty high up there. You guys know about the manga at all? Manga, however you want to pronounce it. I'm an American, sue me. So, Pokemon's pretty diverse, isn't it? It's the second best-selling video game series of all time, only after Mario. Out of all the other video games being showcased here at PAX, Pokemon is the second best-selling series ever. That's pretty darn amazing, isn't it? Like I said, the Pokemon World Championships took place last weekend in Boston. As I said, 1,000 people in the trading card game, 800 in the video game series. There were almost 5,000 people right there gathered together for the sole purpose of playing Pokemon together. And I just feel that is absolutely amazing. That, honestly, Pokemon is probably more popular now than ever before. You remember back in the 90s? Were any of you around in the 90s when it first came out? Yeah.
I was born in 1999.
Kind of around in the 90s for you, okay. I was born in 92. I was exposed to Pokemon when I was 7. I saw, it was the episode Battle Aboard the St. Anne. It was the very first episode to premiere in the United States, episode 15, not 1. Thank you, 4 kids. So I saw that on the night of its premiere, and I've been in love with it ever since. I now quite literally make my living entirely just by being a fan of Pokemon. I'm here talking with you guys about Pokemon. There were other Pokemon-related YouTube channels that have been talking over this weekend. How many of you saw the Make YouTube content thing from Shady Penguin, Nate Wants to Battle, Dookie Shed. Any of you at that panel? Okay, quite a few actually. I was there, that was great. I'm a friend of Shady, so. How many of you saw the YouTube gaming panel? Anyone? Nah, you were missing out. Hopefully it was archived on Twitch. So anyway, but the point is, I'm not the only big Pokemon YouTuber here. There's a lot right here, right now, and even more around the world making Pokemon videos on YouTube. We're called PokeTubers. Wow, that's original. So it can get, you can be as specific as you want with PokeTubing or as general as you want. Like I said, I focus on the trading card game. It's in my YouTube channel title, but a lot of people focus on the video games because they find that more fun. People focus on maybe their top 10 favorite Pokemon or their top 10 least favorite Pokemon or top 10s, top 5s, basically lists. People focus on lists and they have maybe 500,000 subscribers. The most subscribed PokeTuber is the J-Wits with over 1 million. He started out just doing Pokemon. He does everything Nintendo now, but he still does Pokemon, and it's almost entirely just him talking about Pokemon. It's really turned into something that's quite a large presence on YouTube. If you watch a Minecraft video, the odds are rather high that a Pokemon video will be in the suggested videos tab. That's where most of my views come from, the suggested videos tab. So just know that there's a huge PokeTubing presence on YouTube, here at PAX, basically everywhere, and I just find that really awesome. Now, as for me specifically, like I said, I was introduced to Pokemon when I was 7. I've been a huge fan ever since, but I didn't start YouTube until about 2013, so only 2 years ago. I got my inspiration from other PokeTubers who, well, as I said earlier, they pointed a camera at a wall and showed off cardboard. That's basically what opening up PAX is just doing that, and I thought, well, that sounds like fun. And obviously it's fun or I wouldn't be here. So I watched other people doing that and they got me into doing it, and I just thought, let's try this and see what happens. I now have the 2 biggest booster box openings of all time. One of them is on the verge of 2 million views, the other's at 1,750,000, something like that, of any trading card game. You know, Magic the Gathering, my openings are actually higher than anything that they have pulled out there, and that's, Pokemon, right? So how did I get where I am now? Well, I have 100,000 subscribers, almost, and I basically just made videos and did what I loved. And how many of you are at all interested in actually making a YouTube channel? How many of you have a YouTube channel? I like those hands. So, just as a question, do you know how many views you get per video? That's a good answer. Honestly, when you can say, I don't know, that's when life is good for you. So, people ask me, how do you get so many views? How do you get so many subscribers? And my honest answer is, when I find out, I'll tell you. I have no idea how I got where I am. All I can say is there's 3 specific things that help to make sure that you rack in the views, you rack in the subscribers. And those 3 things are, 1, make sure your content is consistent. If you upload 1 video a year, that's consistent, but what if you, what if you only upload that 1 video and you're like, okay, I'll come back to this in a year? People aren't going to know that. What if 7 months from now, somebody stumbles across your video and says, ooh, this is cool, I wonder what else they put out. They look at your channel and see that that's the only video. They might assume that it was a one-time thing and just never come back. So consistent. What I do is I upload videos almost every single day. When I was here at PAX, in preparation for that, I recorded in 2 days' time 8 or 9 videos just to go up on my channel while I was here this weekend. And now I'm fresh out. I fly back tomorrow. I'm 1 video short, so boy, I'm good at math, aren't I? So being consistent is a very big thing. If people stumble across some of your videos, that's how most people will find you, is by stumbling across your videos. Then they're going to want to see, you know, how often does this guy put out his videos, or this girl put out her videos? And they're going to look at your channel and see this one was published a day ago, this one 2 days, this one 4 days, and they'll see maybe within the last 2 weeks you put out 10 videos. They'll be more likely to subscribe to you, or at the very least come back to your channel every once in a while to see what you put out in the meantime. Because consistency tells them that you're dedicated to making videos and making them happy and making sure that they are fulfilled. That's the first thing. The second thing is to be genuine with your videos. I'm up here right now about as genuine as I could be. I could have come up here as an actor or as someone who is definitely not myself, and that would be great for entertainment purposes, but on YouTube, they are going to see through the mask instantly and say, this person is so fake that I don't want to deal with them if this is how they are all the time. I watch videos on YouTube a lot, like way more often than I should, and I have come across quite a few people who I like their videos and I subscribe to them, and then after a few videos later, I realized that it's not real, that they're putting on a mask for the sake of an audience. And I mean, that there's times where that's great, where it's supposed to be that way. Like, are any of you familiar with Smosh? Okay, I'm seeing heads nodding, not hands up. I'll take that. That's a skit-based channel where they are actors reciting a script for the sake of entertainment. When you're doing something like I do, where you open up booster packs not knowing what's going to be inside, you can't go off a script. I could definitely just point this very camera. This is what I use. It'll be signing autographs later. I could be using this very camera to record my videos, and I could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and never open up the pack and make it look like I just love talking. In reality, what I want is the same thing as my viewers. I want to see what's in that pack. So I rush through the cards, probably a little faster than I should, to see what the good card is, and if it's like a okay card, or if it's such a great card that if I make it the thumbnail, I'll get 1 million views. This guy knows what I mean. But yeah, so 2 is be genuine. Number 1, consistency. Number 2, be genuine. And number 3, be passionate. You can be consistent. You can upload a video a day. You can be genuine. You could, won't be genuine, I just talked about that. But if you're not passionate about it, if you just point this camera at yourself and just sit here and be all monotone and just talk about whatever you want, and that's all I have to say about that. You see, in those few seconds, you guys were probably thinking, oh, that's not very entertaining. I'm not sure if I want to watch that for too long. Be passionate about whatever you're doing in YouTube. I open up packs. Some people might do a cover of a music video. Other people might do something as simple as just point the camera at their dog as they're running down the street, hoping it gets 1 million views. Whatever it is, be passionate. Because if it's not passionate, once again, the viewers are going to see right through it. They're going to see that you're not interested in it, so why should they be? And that's what I have to say about making YouTube videos in general. Now, as far as, remember what I said at the beginning, I love audience participation. I want to hear from you guys about honestly whatever you want to talk about, Pokemon related. We got 2 mics over here. I'll ask for you to head over there in a second. Now, I'm a guy who loves discussing everything Pokemon. Like I said, trading card game, anime, video games, manga, whatever. I love talking about Pokemon theories. Anyone know the theory about Cubone being a baby Kangaskhan? There, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. I love talking about that. I love talking about which generation is the best. It's Generation 2, by the way. And I love... I'm seeing a lot of heads shaking. I probably shouldn't have said that. But it's the truth. I love to discuss anything Pokemon related. If you have questions about my channel, I mean, how many of you even heard about my channel before you came to this panel? Oh, we got 2 hands, 3 hands. Okay, nice. That was way more than I expected. I expected 0. But if you have questions about, what I do, or if the 3 of you who are familiar with my channel have questions about anything in particular, then feel free to ask. I want for this panel to be about Pokemon, not about me. So I want to now open up the mics for you guys to line up and just talk with me and with each other about anything you want Pokemon related. How's that sound, guys? I'm seeing thumbs up, I'm seeing heads nod, I heard an okay. That is a pretty solid sure to me. So how about you guys start lining up? Both mics are open, so don't be shy. Because it was a sequel, not an original game, that's why.
All right.
Hi, what's your name?
Greg.
Greg.
Yep. So I don't know what generation we're on right now, and I just want to know this question.
6.
6?
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people have problems with how we basically are getting ice cream Pokemon and Sword and Shield Pokemon. When do we hit a diminishing return where we don't add any more Pokemon, and it's more about expanding the base game without actually adding Pokemon itself?
Well, we kind of have that already with remakes, don't we?
I really don't know. I just thought I'd ask the question.
The newest games, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, were basically enhanced remakes of Ruby and Sapphire. They didn't introduce any new Pokemon. They introduced new Mega Evolutions, which some would argue are new Pokemon, but no actual Pokemon that were added to the Pokédex. And the reviews for that were pretty mixed. 7 point out of 10, too much water. But you get something like X and Y, which didn't add too many new Pokemon, only 71 so far. Another one has yet to actually be officially announced. So 72, that's the least of any generation, and yet it's one of the best reviewed original Pokemon games. So you might be onto something where it becomes less about adding Pokemon and more about actual gameplay. So I kind of like where you're going with that. Thanks for your question. Hi, what's your name?
Megan.
Megan?
My question is, what's your opinion on the earlier episodes of the Pokemon anime and the newer ones?
Well, first of all, Pikachu's Goodbye is my favorite episode. And that's one of the earlier ones. How much of the XY series have you watched?
Not very much.
Not very much, okay. Well, I try to be as up-to-date as possible. I even watched the Japanese ones before they're subbed into English, much less dubbed. So
I've done that with a few shows.
So, I love the XY series because it's done a very good job at character development that we honestly didn't really see in the original series. I feel that, especially with Ash, he's gotten to the point where he can become the mentor to the rest of the group instead of the rest of the group mentoring him, if you want to use the word mentor. And that allows for him to do more things, I think, than he was able to in the original. They could only do so much in the original series. It goes back to the question that Greg asked. When you add fewer Pokemon, you gotta focus more on storyline. With the original series, every episode featured a new Pokemon, and at the time there were 150 Pokemon, so they needed to feature them in some way in each episode. And after a while, there's only so much you can really do with 150 different Pokemon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and with the newer one, they actually haven't focused on the Pokemon that much. They've been focusing on the humans. In terms of character development, then, I think that the new series is actually superior to the old one, but nothing beats the nostalgia.
True.
Yeah, you guys know what I mean. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina.
So my question is kind of going along the lines of new versus old. Coming out with the newer Pokemon, kind of with the first question, you got the Pokemon that are like the ice cream cone or the garbage, and how do you feel about where Pokemon types are going? Like they used to be like all based on real life animals that we deal with, and now a lot of them, not all of them, are becoming inanimate objects. How do you feel about that?
On the trash bag Pokemon, Garbodor is my least favorite ever. So, no, I'm with you there.
Okay.
As far as them being based off inanimate objects, there's always the argument, muck existed and you didn't complain then. But I feel like there's, off the top of my head, I'm actually having a hard time thinking of any Generation 6 Pokemon that aren't based off of animals. I'm sure they exist. I'm having a hard time remembering. Well, I think Binacle and Barbaracle, the ones that you look at and you think, wait, those are Pokemon, I forgot. So, but I'm with you. I love the ones that are based off of animals in the real world, but I also, I do like the inanimate objects idea, how, an ice cream cone could come to life and stuff like that. I'm trying to say this with the straightest face possible. It's not easy, I'm telling you. But to say that just because it's an ice cream cone means it's not a Pokemon, I think is invalid because, like I said, we had tons of Generation 1 Pokemon. We had Voltorb and Electrode, which were literally nothing more than Pokeballs with eyes. And then we have this ice cream cone that it actually evolves, and it looks more and more powerful as it evolves. It looks like how an evolution chain should go in Pokemon, and yet people hate it just because you can lick it and it'll die. I do not speak from experience. So I hope that answered your question. Hi, what's your name?
Raul. Hi, this is in regards to the trading card game. So in the next set, they're going to introduce the break evolution mechanic. So do you think this is the start of getting off the EX train and going back to stage 1 and 2 evolutions? Or do you think it's just another thing like mega evolutions where it will just come and EX will still be popular?
First of all, excellent question. And second of all, I'm sure none of the rest of you knew what that meant. Basically, in the trading card game right now, we have special cards called EXs, which are incredibly overpowered. The entire metagame it basically revolves around either using them or using decks that counter them. With this new Breakthrough set, which is coming out in November, it features Mewtwo, by the way. It's going to introduce a new concept called Break Evolution. And we don't know everything about it yet, do we?
No.
So I can't 100% comment on it, but I think they're going in the right direction of getting stage 1s and stage 2s and stuff back about parallel in power to the EXs, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes.
Thanks.
Yep. Hi.
Hello,
What's your name?
Bradley.
Bradley. What's your question?
This is mainly for you, but can be answered by the audience a little bit too.
I like this guy.
Singles or doubles?
Which rules are we going by?
VGC 2015.
Doubles. It's so more consistent. I'm sorry to any singles lovers, although I didn't hear any.
Hey.
Any singles lovers? Anyone? Okay. There you go. Triple! Yeah, where's the triple love, guys? Come on, there's nothing more amazing than watching 3 Hoopa Unbound all hit the field at the same time. The frame rate is incredible, 2 frames a second. Get on this, Game Freak. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Ben.
Hi, Ben.
This question regards Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and Colosseum. Do you think we should get more games like those, which, by the way, make Generation 3 the best?
I agree, we need more games like those. Next.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
I'm a TCG player, and I was wondering, what is the meta game in the Pokemon TCG right now, and how do the sets rotate, and how often do the top decks die out? Because I play Yu-Gi-Oh and other card games, and I was wondering how that works.
Well, to answer your middle question first, we have a rotation every year, and after Worlds, so Worlds was last weekend, so beginning a week or two from now, the rotation will happen, which will get rid of a ton of older sets, which, were new when they came out, but they're 3 years old now. With those going away, we're getting rid of a lot of powerful cards, some of which have been dominant in the format for 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer if they're reprinted from sets that have also been rotated, because the way Pokemon works is if it's reprinted, you can use it, even if the set it was originally printed in was rotated out. So we got things like a Mewtwo EX and a Darkrai EX, which we have wanted to die for so long, and now they're finally going away. And just with those going away, actually, it's anyone's guess as to how the game's going to look. And we're not just losing those, we're losing a ton of cards that have just really been huge in the game, some that haven't been huge, but they're in the back of everyone's mind when they build a deck. Like this one card that I haven't seen in a tournament for 3 years, but it still exists. I need to plan on even one person running it, because if I run into that one person, I'm going to lose. So the metagame, I would define it as basically, I mean, are you trying to ask, what cards are the biggest, or
the top tier decks right now?
Well, the top tier deck at Worlds was one that no one saw coming. It revolved around a deck that was huge 3 years ago and hasn't been seen since. And then someone played it last weekend and won the whole tournament. Their first game, they won in 90 seconds. Oh. True story. It's on YouTube. You should check it out. So it's hard to say what the metagame is, because if you go into a tournament with a rogue deck and you come out on top, suddenly it's not a rogue deck anymore. And then a deck that everyone was so worried about that would shut down everyone's deck, everyone is too afraid to play it because it's a little too risky. So honestly, to define the metagame is incredibly difficult. Best I can say is it's an ever-evolving mechanic. Okay. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I think the microphone comes off. I could be wrong. No? Okay. Yay, I'm not a liar. Hi, what's your name?
Marco.
Marco. You have a question?
He wanted to know how many Megas and EXs you have.
Over 100? I haven't counted it recently, but over 100. Awesome question, though. Thanks.
I'll ask a follow-up question. So I'm trying to learn the card game with him. Like he's buying a lot of booster packs, and as I read the rules, you need a 60-card deck, and it's just we barely have enough to actually have like a full game together. Mm-hmm. I've read rules about some people have created games using like a 30-card deck or a 40-card deck. In your experiences, have you tried those before, and do those work? We kind of tried it out. He, of course, has EXs, and he destroys me like in about 2 minutes. And my rule is I can't use any EXs, almost impossible. I'm just wondering whether or not, with a smaller deck, can it work?
Well, first of all, in official tournaments, it's 60 cards, no questions asked. But that's not your question. For just playing for fun, yeah, 30 card decks. That's actually, there are official Pokemon products that teach you how to play the card game, and they just give you 30 cards each. So, yeah, in that case, then sure. I mean, 30, 40, however much you want for both of you. As long as it's the same number in each deck, then it doesn't really matter.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Justin.
Hi, Justin.
I wanted to ask what you thought of the theory from the anime about when, in the first season, when Ash is attacked by crows, he actually has a coma, and then everything after that is a dream of him being in a coma.
I have heard this theory. I do not accept it myself. It's an interesting theory, and I'm glad that there's a lot of people who really put a lot of effort into making sense of it. And it does make sense. It's a really good theory. I just don't believe it myself. I feel like it helps explain why is Ash still 10 after 20 years. Spider-Man's still 25 after 50. Come on. So it explains things that otherwise don't really make sense. But in the end, I feel since it's just a show, when it comes down to it, shouldn't take the age thing too seriously, or Ash's lack of accomplishments and the fact that he's still just walking everywhere for no reason. He's actually gotten worse. He has. He got to top 4 in the Sinnoh League and then top 8 in the Unova League. It's pitiful. Role model for kids, everyone.
Okay. I guess I have another question.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what I could do with the tons of, probably thousands of dollars worth of Generation 1 Pokemon cards that I have in my garage somewhere?
eBay.
Okay.
I think if you want to sell it, that's probably your best bet. If you want to keep it, then hey, keep it. It's all up to you.
Thank you.
No problem. Oh, I'm sorry. Have I been skipping you this whole time?
Nope, just got up here.
Okay, what's your name?
My name's Arthur.
Hi.
Hi. I'm here to ask, so I remember a very, very long time ago, somebody wrote into Nintendo asking, what if Pokemon were real? And they responded, well, do you want like an Onyx in Starbucks? That would be crazy. But as the games have gotten progressively, as each generation goes, it seems like more and more tech is involved with the cities. Like we now have the Eiffel Tower and like actual full-blown cities in the Pokemon games. So this is like to you and anybody else, how exactly does Pokemon and tech end up meshing? Or are we ever going to see huge populated cities and Onyxes just plowing over, you know?
Like in the games or in real
Sure,
life?
games, real life, I don't know. This is
Dude,
just
if I could ride a
question.
go-goat for real, I take it from here to the main convention center right now. What do you guys think? Anyone? What was that? They smell. As for me, I like that they're meshing. It's making the games more realistic. It's like the people in Pokemon are actually living together, like it said in Generation 1, but you never really saw. Now you're actually seeing, in Lumio City, you're seeing the Eiffel Tower, and at the same time you have this ugly rabbit right in front of it, and you can ride a goat with grass on its back in a big circle around. I mean, it doesn't make sense when I put it that way, but it's really nice, and I hope that with progressive games, they continue to add to that and build on it.
Thank you.
I like your hoodie.
Thank you. This is a tough question. I would say, what is your favorite Pokemon? But I will even let it open to what's your top 3 favorite Pokemon?
My favorite's Helioptile. My second favorite is Latios, and did anyone watch Pokemon Heroes? Okay, that's fine. Third favorite, I have a top 10, but it's because numbers 3 through 10 I can't really pick between. honestly. Number 3, probably Charizard. Yeah.
Any
Okay.
particular reason why for any of those?
Helioptile because it's cute. It's become my channel mascot. I fell in love with it the instant it was revealed before X and Y came out, and I just absolutely love it. I think it's cute. I think it's really reminiscent of the first 2 generations where it was a simple design based off of a real animal. So it's kind of a nostalgia factor as well. Latias just because I loved Pokemon Heroes. It's my favorite. It was my favorite Pokemon movie, and she was the basically star of that. And Charizard because it's Charizard. Need I say more? Hi, what's your name?
Ben, this is my second question.
Hi again, Brad.
Yeah, hi again. Okay, so now that we've established Generation 3 is obviously the best, what is both your favorite region and least favorite region?
My favorite region is probably Kalos, the newest one. I love how it's how you can just take a big circle around it, and I love how it's based off of France.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, right. Colossus is my favorite too,
Yeah.
by far.
I love how it's the first one rendered in as close to 3D as they're going to get in a Pokemon game, I think. And it's such a beautiful place. I love all the details they put into it, even making sure that there were different color flowers within just one route. It was really nice. I think it's just a beautiful region. My least favorite, probably Sinnoh. To be absolutely frank, I hated Mount Coronet. It was a nightmare. It was annoying. Yes, thank you. What about yours? Your least favorite?
Probably by far Unova. I just didn't really. I don't know.
No, I'm kind of with you there. It was like
Yeah.
a close second.
We mostly agree. I do think before Kalos, my favorite was Sinnoh though, so that was kind of a blow to me.
Yeah. Hi.
I have another question.
Okay.
That's kind of also related to the games. Which one was your favorite, like, kind of side story plot thing?
In the
like
main
with-
games?
Well, yeah, like where you fight the enemy team and whatever.
My favorite side story is the story of AZ from X and Y.
Yeah, I liked that one. That
Yeah.
one was good.
How many of you know what the Pokemon Symphonic Evolutions is? Yeah, I'm seeing a few hands. I got to go to the one in Boston as a VIP guest, and when the slides came up and the music started playing of his backstory, I literally just started bawling. It was such a beautiful music to accompany a sad story, and then it actually, it got tied up, and the spoilers for any of you who didn't play it. The very end of X and Y, he's reunited with his Floette, which he had been separated with for 3,000 years. That's probably the most emotional I've gotten in a Pokemon game, and I have been playing it ever since it came out.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Hmm.
Not only that, I think it's probably one of the more darker ones as far as the stories
Yeah,
go.
it is. It is a little. If you guys don't know anything about this, then I'll just stop here. Hi, what's your name?
Bradley, this is my second question.
Hi, Bradley. I need to ask every time.
Megazord X or Y?
Shiny or not?
Your choice.
I love both of them. I know Mega Charizard Y gets such little love. I don't know why. The X version looks awesome, don't get me wrong, but the Y one looks awesome too. The shiny X version just looks a little gross to me. So as far as non-shinies, definitely Y. No, I'm sorry. As far as shinies go, definitely Y. As far as non-shinies, it's so hard to say, but I'll probably go with Y with that as well.
Okay.
How about you?
Non-shiny, X, shiny, Y.
Fair enough. Hi.
I'm Sabrina again.
Hi, Sabrina again.
So you were talking earlier about your favorite episode, the Pikachu's Goodbye or whatever. So what makes that your favorite episode?
Well, Well, the backstory to that is it wasn't originally going to even be made. It wasn't conceived until after the Computer Soldier Porygon episode, which, sent children to the hospital in Japan, never saw the light of day in the United States. The Pokemon anime went on like a 6-month hiatus or something like that. And the show creators decided, you know what, if we can only show one more episode, if this series gets canceled, then what do we want it to be? And they thought, maybe we could make an episode of Ash winning the league, but they decided to make Pikachu's Goodbye instead. And I love that episode because it shows the bond between Ash and his Pikachu, where he tries to release it, and it refuses to because it loves him so much. And I think that's a huge improvement from the Pikachu we saw in episode 1 that just, made Ash smoke every time that he was let out of his Pokeball. So I just love it for the story and for the backstory.
If I may, I can't remember quite the title, but my favorite episode is probably the one where Ash is in that Pokemon race where he rides Ponyta and evolves into Rapidash. Do you remember that title?
Yeah, it's the...
Oh.
No, it was... dang, I know what you're talking about, though. It's like... No, it was just one.
I think it's just one.
It's like... Yeah, it was a Pokemon pun. I remember that.
It's like...
I'm getting My Pokemon Ranch stuck in my head. I'm like, no, that's not it. That's horrible. So I don't remember what it was. It was like Dash.
Yeah,
No.
something with the dash.
Pokemon Dash was okay, but anyway.
But that one's my favorite, partially because, or maybe mostly because I'm kind of a horse fanatic, and that I love Ponyta and Rapidash. So like when that episode came on, I like freaked out.
Yeah,
So.
and you mentioned that episode. I don't remember which site it was, but there's one website that reviews the Pokemon episodes, and among people who have voted on the episodes, that's actually the best reviewed episode
Really?
of the entire anime. So yeah, I forgot what it was, the episode and the title. This is going to drive me bonkers.
Look it up. I'll look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up. We got another over 15 minutes. If there's anything at all Pokemon related you guys want to talk about, then the microphone's right there. If not, then I could probably pick a topic and we can talk about it. Like, okay, you just decided I'll make a sacrifice for the group. Hello again.
Hello.
How
What
are
is
you?
your favorite competitive Pokemon?
My favorite competitive Pokemon, like in the video game?
In the video game.
In the video game, Gardevoir.
Mega or not Mega?
Mega with hyper voice.
That works.
How about yours?
It's a tie between Klefki and Aegislash.
Aegislash is such a pain. You guys all know what Aegislash is, right? Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of heads nodding. The first time I saw Windstrom with his Aegislash, I looked at it and I thought, this is Honage's final evolution. I was expecting 3 swords. No, they gave us a sword and shield because that's so much better. So, yeah, that was my first exposure to Aegislash, actually, was at the Elite Four. It was the one Pokemon I had trouble with. Anyway.
And Klefki mainly because he can have Prankster with Thunderwave and the 2 screens.
I use my Klefki with spikes.
I don't use spikes. It's useless in doubles.
Yeah, thanks for the question, though. Hi.
Hello. So my question is about how do you feel about the inclusion of the fairy type?
I love it for the reason that the dragons in Gen 5 were way too overpowered. I feel fairy was the best way to even the playing field, so that the dragons were diminished, but there wasn't something so overpowered that it would also just trump over everything. Hi.
Hello. For someone that hasn't played any of the handheld games since around Gold, like completely finishing them, where would you suggest they try to jump in at the moment?
It depends on the system. Do you have a 3DS?
I have a 3DS.
I would recommend X and Y. The most recent games are Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'll be frank, I didn't enjoy them as much as I did with X and Y. They were good, but I feel like if you're just getting back into it, then X and Y is the way to go, because it does a really good job of explaining all the mechanics that have changed between Gen 2 and now, but also even as recently as between Gen 5 and now. You know, we just added Fairy type, so they need to explain that. There's, I think, even an explanation of why some Pokemon that used to not be Fairy type are now or were normal but are now Fairy, like Clefable and stuff like that.
I refuse to accept that. Clefairy's still normal to me.
But yeah, I recommend X and Y. Good question. Hi, again.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. What are your thoughts on Zoroark, even though this is a couple generations late, or maybe a generation late?
I love it. I know a lot of people like to equate it to Lucario, only because it wasn't even the first Pokemon revealed. Lucario was the second from Gen 4. The first one was Munchlax, which everyone forgets about. Zoroark, I love. I love the illusion ability that it can, look like another Pokemon. It really adds a flavor to competitive battling that we never had before. And whenever I go into a team preview and I see the Zoroark now, I just smile because no matter if I win or lose, I am in for a fun game. That's how I feel about it. And Shiny Zoroark is my favorite Shiny. Yes. Hi, again.
For like third time, maybe?
No biggie. Come on.
Ugh.
My bad.
I think I have two questions, and I forgot the second one already.
Yeah,
First,
that was me
what's
hitting
your
the mic, sorry.
favorite type of Pokemon? Like fire type, water type?
It's so hard to choose, isn't it? In the past, I've juggled between dragon and steel, and electric, and then back to dragon, and then fire. And right now, I'm on fire, but that might not be my final answer. How about yours?
I like fire too.
How about you guys? Fire, dragon, ghost, psychic. No idea. Best type.
Oh shoot, what was my second question? I don't remember.
If you remember, the microphone's right there. Hi.
Hi. What type of evolution would you like to see next, or do you think we have enough?
Steel.
Steel?
I would love to see a steel evolution. I would call it Cobaltion.
Hello again.
Hello again.
What has been your favorite glitch in any of the Pokemon games?
Missing no.
Yeah. And what was your favorite thing to do with Missing No?
Not rare candies, actually, nor Master Balls. I ended up getting the, not Amulet Coin, because that wasn't out yet, was it? No. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like something that actually turned out to be something that I really used a lot. And it wasn't like a healing item or a Pokeball or rare candies or anything like that. Yeah, Gen 1, duplicating EXP share. I can't remember what it was, but like when I had the original Gen 1 games, I made it a point to have a living Pokédex. You guys know what that is? Where you have one of every Pokemon in a slot in the PC. All of them at level 100. And I actually did hit the goal by just grinding through the Elite Four over and over and over. And whatever the item was that I got, it helps me to do that. I don't remember how. And this is probably going to drive me nuts too, like the title of that episode. But yeah, Missing No is my favorite.
Okay, and then one more short one.
Okay.
Best girl in the anime.
May. What do you guys think? Best girl in the anime? May? Misty. Let's hear all the Misty lovers. Come on, don't be shy. Actually, I'm becoming a fan of Serena quite a lot. She's going through a lot of things that I'm really a big fan of. That I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with the direction they're currently putting her. Hi.
Hi. Do you have a favorite Pokemon, either ROM hack or creepypasta?
No.
All right then. That was simple.
I don't play ROM hacks, and I avoid creepypasta like the plague, so I'm sorry. Hi, again, I still love your hoodie.
Thank you. By the way, congratulations on your living decks. It is a challenge to do. I have gone through that journey as well. Have you gone through the games doing the themed party style, where you are like a gym leader picking a theme? Like right now, I'm running through Sapphire with a steel party, or, you know.
Yeah, that particular self-limitation is called a monolock, I believe. Well, you guys have any idea what a Nuzlocke is? Yeah. Okay, well, that's enough people. So basically, it's taking the same rules and then making it you can only catch Pokemon of one type. So I've seen other people do it, and it looks like way too daunting of a task for me to do. But I have done themes and stuff. With my run through in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, it wasn't necessarily a choiced Pokemon theme, but I decided to name all of them based off of the theme of Star Wars characters. I did do a run through of Silver way back when I got it. Unlike my third or fourth time playing it, I decided to play through keeping all of my caught Pokemon in the lowest evolved form possible. So if I caught a Rattata, it's going to be the top percentage of Rattata because it's never going to evolve.
That's actually very similar with my steel Pokemon party that I'm doing right now. They're all actually named after mechs, and my trainer is named after a mech drive pilot, and then everybody is still in their lowest evolution.
Yeah, and I think steel is that's a challenge because there aren't too many steel types.
There's a fair amount.
Well,
but it takes a lot of strategy planning,
yeah,
and looking ahead at all of the different gyms and making sure you have at least one Pokemon who can get you through a particular gym in order to progress farther. But even if I'm not doing a themed party, I obsess a little too much on what my party is going to be.
So you're doing this playthrough right now?
Yes.
Good luck.
I'm actually most of the way through it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck in finishing it.
Thanks.
Okay, well, according to my phone, we have about 8 minutes left. Anything else you guys want to talk about, do? The Flame Pokemon-a-thon. Yeah, I knew it was. Yeah, whoever said it was a pun on Pokemon, you were right. The Flame Pokemon-a-thon. Yeah, best reviewed episode according to, might have been PokemonEpisodes.org. Anyway, no, I'm not paid to say this. That pretty much wraps it up for everything I wanted to talk about. But yeah, if you guys are at all interested in my YouTube channel, it is once again Skull Shirtical TCG. It's either in the program, or if you don't have one, come see me afterwards. I'll give you a card. If you guys are watching on Twitch, I hope you're still awake. I think I'm pretty much done. Can we wrap it up early? Okay, well, I want to thank everyone for coming out, and hope you all have a good day. Thanks a lot.